Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I've got a deck profile for you today. A deck profile of a deck that I'm planning on taking to regionals. This is one of my two considerations. This is the one I'm leaning more towards. This is Imperialdramon, and there will be some changes for EX7, but when we get EX7 due to delays and stuff, I feel like it's going to be a bit too close to time to give you a deck profile. So I feel like it's just going to be better to give you a deck profile now, tell you what I maybe plan to change, and I can get your guys' opinions ahead of time. That way I can think of any changes stuff, and as also I'll talk about a build variant I've yet to try, but the cards are on the way to try it as well. So for now, we're going to start off with our eggs. I'm playing 4 of the BT12 Demi-V. I feel like the power to draw is what I need for the deck. I don't feel like I've ever needed the plus 1000 DP from the BT16 Demi-V. And I don't feel like I need to run 5 eggs either. Typically by the time I hit the 4th egg, I'm either ready to close out game or so is my opponent, especially since we don't run any Ukos and stuff. So 4 of this egg's perfectly fine. Also says we need of shuffling when time's going to be of importance and stuff.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you never miss a thing.
On to rookies. I'm running 4 of the BT12 Vmon. The best searcher in the deck, just because it hits pretty much every Digimon, as well as all the Tamers. So by far the best searcher of the deck. This is what I preferably want to see when I'm searching, and there's really not much more to go into it other than that. Second best searcher of the deck, Wormmon, because it hits everything and it hits majority of the Tamers. There are 2 Tamers it doesn't hit, but still, really good searcher. Top 3. The search power in this deck is insane, with the 4 Vs and 4 Worms, and the ability to recur them as well. Next, I am running 4 Promo Vmon for reduced Digivolution cost, which does come with quite a bit, as well as the draw power of this card that is not once per turn. It's insane. If you can get, like, if you can barely scrape getting your first DNA together in this deck, if you've managed to do it with some promo Vs, the draw power this card can give you is insane. Normally, by the time that line's done, you've seen all the pieces you need to get another, maybe most times better line going as well. And I'm running 1 BT16 Wormmon for the ability to digivolve from the trash, utilize it a bit. So in those late games where, like, there's a piece I'm missing, it's sitting in the trash, then I can go into this worm, grab it, reduce cost by 1. Sometimes enough to keep turn. On to our level 4s, we are running 4 BT12 XVmon. The ability to gain memory when you digivolve is insane, gives jamming if it's got free and traits or Imperialdramon. Overall, great card. Best blue level 4 in the deck, I feel, by far. But 4 XVs are just not enough. So I do run 1 EX1 XV, just to kind of round it up as another jamming card, as well as jamming source. If you guys have got any choices, I don't really like the BT16 one, to be honest, but if you guys have got any recommendations, much appreciated. Now for the green counterpart, I'm running 3 BT12 Stings. I would like to run a 4th. However, and I may do in the future, however, at this moment in time, with the current version of the build, I feel like this having as a 3 and the next card at a 2 is what's needed. Again, gaining memory when digivolving, absolutely insane, and give piercing to help with ball control. I'm running 2 ST9 Stingmons alongside them. The draw inheritable is the big thing, and also the fact you can play this down for free. It does come up sometimes, but it's mostly the draw inheritable for this card. Again, just trying to help you. If you get a single line going and you get a few swings off, those draws can really help that second line ready to go if they deal with it. Then, for the sake of multicolor, 2 Lightramons. Just because it's both a blue and a green source is the main thing. It's when digivolving can come up sometimes to help you deal with something before you DNA. We are running a lot more Vs than we are Worms, so this is like the good armor choice. Honestly, I would like to run the BT16 armor for Worm, but we're just not running enough Worms, and this is the better choice in that regard, and I feel like this is always going to be the better way. I'm not a big fan of the promo Worm, to be honest. The end of turn DNA is nice. It's this search ability, the fact that it has to be a 2-colored card, and like the current ones just let you search out your other rookies, which is very nice. So this is Lytra. We're going to come back to him at the end of the video because there's some stuff to talk about with him. And so I'm going to put him to one side. On to our level 5s. For BT17 Imperialdra, the best DNA in the deck, by far. This guy, like, when this guy hits the board, Partition's insane. Stopping them from unsuspending's insane. Suspending everything's got less sauce than him is nice. But, like, if they've already got the entire board suspended, it doesn't matter how many sauce they got when this guy feels like, right, that's not unsuspending now, this is what you have to deal with. Is absolutely crazy. And easily, by far, the best level 5 in the deck. I'm running 2 ST9 Imperialdramons to help with that offensive play, of just being able to double swing. It comes up a lot more than any of the other Imperialdras I've tested. Is when DNA into bottom deck is 6,000 or less. Does come up sometimes, not all the time, but it does come up. It's mostly when attacking and suspend to attack again. That's very nice. And then for the situational uses, I'm running 1 BT12 Imperialdramon. More source stripping, he can stun on his own, so if they haven't gone too wide, this plus the Davis and Ken means that's 6 source stripped from just him on one line, which then can end it, and he's also got the Inheritor. End of turn, if an Imperialdramon attack, gain a memory, can get you that little bit extra memory you need to maybe go into Dragon Mode or something. Speaking of which, on to our level 6s. I'm running 3 Dragon Modes. So I'm not running the ST Dragon Mode. That's the actual, the one that lets you put a level 4 or lower blue and green. I have 2 of those on the way, and I do plan to test that build, but right now I'm feeling very comfortable with this build because this Dragon Mode is just absolutely insane. Being able to suspend the Tamer outside, so you've already got your Imperialdramon that can do all the Digimon, and this guy can go, right, take that Tamer can't unsuspend. Is very nice. He has the ability to unsuspend himself. And then on top of that, if you Digivolve or play Digimon by effect, at that point I just get to go into any fighter mode of my choosing. I do like this a lot more, but I am going to give the version where you play 2 of this guy and then 2 of the ST ones a test, but I'm very much leaning more towards this one as my build of choice. 2 fighter mode aces to go for first of all for Blast Digivolution, as well as for dealing with single lines, and it can attack, unsuspend, attack again. Multi-attack's the aim of the game with this deck, and just having all those attacks really helps out. And like I say, with it being a blast, something that people forget a lot, I feel like, with this deck, is they forget the fact of this guy is just a level 6 for blasting. The amount of times I've caught people out where I've had level 5 Imperialdramon and they've went swing and I'll go Blast Digivolve counter timing into this guy. And it's like, oh yeah, because they're so used to it happening over Dragon Mode, they forget it can happen over level 5 times. Then I'm also running 2 BT12 fighter modes to bottom deck an entire board. I like running this as 2, I like being able to see it. The entire bottom deck board is nice, having a blocker if you need it, +1 security so you can get 2 checks in the 1 swing makes up for it. Can be a big beefy dude at 15k DP. Overall, very nice, and also returns your Dragon Mode to hand and stuff. But we're also going to come back to him, like the Lytramon, for the end of the video. On to level 7s, I'm just running 2 Paladin modes. This is all I'm running for the deck. 2 Paladin modes, as I feel like having 2 is nice, so if like one's in security, you've always got the chance of the other. But then if one does end up in trash somehow, you can, if you choose to, you can bottom deck your own trash, which sometimes is a viable option to stop yourself from decking out with the amount of drawing you do. But if you bottom deck your own Paladin mode, it's like, right, I'm going to gain free memory on top of that, which is very nice. But then this guy's normally like, okay, I'm going to just go for the game-ending board, sit down, just go swing, 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 because you've just got everything with no sources. On to Tamers, I'm running 2 memory set of Davis, so this is why I feel like Vmon's the better searcher, because Vmon hits this, Wormmon doesn't. Memory set is just nice. On top of that, it's also a searcher, so like we can play it, set a memory, and then we can search top 3 for a blue and a green, and that's sometimes all you need to get your sources. Best Tamer in the deck, Davis Ken, running 4 of them. Honestly, if you were to hit this deck, you would hit this card. This is the card that would need hit if you were to hit this deck at all. I have lived or died on this card many times, and like, don't get me wrong, you can play without it very well, but this card just accelerates the deck to the next level. So if you wanted to hit Imperialdramon at all, I feel like this is the card you hit down to 1. Nothing else in deck I don't really feel needs touch that much. It's just Davis and Ken as the Tamer. It just does so much for the deck. It's unreal. 4 is just a must. Then on to option cards. Free return to the Primogenitor. It's essentially a HPD. I can trash it to protect and stuff. Now, I'll talk about Force and stuff at the end of the video, actually. But no, so this is a card, like, ultimately, I like it very much. If it's hitting security, I get to play Tamer out. I have had boards where I've had all 3 of these on field, and it's been, like, crazy. But I've also had thoughts about changing it, but at the moment, I'm liking it at free. So, yeah. That is the deck profile. But let's talk about some changes I'm thinking about making towards that of EX7. So, we're going to return the promo generator for this. So for starters, this card, I have thought about putting it down to 2, and having the third one becoming the BT17 option card. Just the ability to quickly play DNA and kind of maybe like rush a play in that way. I thought about doing that. I want to test that out potentially. If not, maybe cut it down to 2 for something else, see if I like 2 in the deck. That is one idea I have for the deck overall to talk about what changes. Going back to these guys. So, the other thing I've been thinking about for coming into EX7 is I'm thinking about taking 1 Lytra and 1 Fighter mode and making these Hexablow for the Ironclads who don't have to worry about Mother Shoto blocking. That way we're fighting with sources and I'm pretty much always going to win. So that's one thing I've been thinking about, dropping these 2 down as by 1. And if I was to do that, I feel like I'd make this Lytramon, the second one. This would probably at that point just become another BT12 Sting. And then this fighter would stay as it is. So like we'd still have that there. The thing is, this is what I'm thinking, like say Hexablows, another Sting, and dropping the other card. But any advice you guys have, it'd be much appreciated. Because like I say, we've got regionals going up in Glasgow on the 12th of October, as myself and a few people from our local card shop are going to be there. So any advice you guys have would be much appreciated and help me build this deck going forward. What do you think? What would you run? Give your reasons why. Tell me in the comments below. Tell me anything like certain builds, certain tech choices, ratios, things like that. Any advice, anything at all, it's much appreciated. Because I want to try and do the best I can with this deck here as regionals. Like I say, I'm leaning 70% towards this. The next deck profile I'll put up on the channel of mine, it'll be Magnamon. That is my only other choice that I'm considering at all for the deck, as for decks to take to regionals. So it's between this and Magna. I'll let you guys vote on the comments below between the 2 decks and stuff, which one. We're also doing a team event, and I'm probably, whichever deck I don't play in the main event, I'm going to play in the team event, is what I'm thinking. So there's going to be a lot more deck profiles coming to the channel as well, with friends and that are going to regionals, playing on the team event, playing in the actual regional itself. There'll be a bunch of us there. So look forward to those profiles coming up, and we're also hopefully doing a vlog and stuff, and things like that. Probably by the time this deck profile's out, there's been a whole video explaining a bunch of stuff like deck profile, like about this deck profile and future deck profiles coming out, as well as the vlog and everything. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video, and until then, adios.